Today I'm going to show you how to make some bar stools out of white oak. First step is to cut the boards and plane them down to the right size. The boards right here are going to be used for the front legs and the back legs. As you can see, you just have to make quite a few passes to get them down to the right size. I want to get them down to just about 1 3/4 of an inch in thickness. Once I get it to that point, I'm going to cut the legs into laminate strips to do a laminate bending glue up to make the arc for the back of the bar stool. These bar stools are going to be a little bit higher than normal. The seat height is going to be at about 36 inches. They're for my sister and brother-in-law. They have a bar that's kind of high, so they wanted some bar stools that would fit the bar. So if they look a little bit too high, that's why. It's what the customer wanted. So just about got it to the right size, and we're going to start cutting them up. When you're doing the cutting for the laminate strips here, you got to keep in mind that your saw blade is 1/8 of an inch thick. Most of them are anyway. This one is. So every time you make a pass, you're essentially turning 1/8 inch of the wood into sawdust. So there is quite a bit of waste, but you want to cut them into 1/8 inch strips so make it nice and easy to bend over your form, which you'll see here in just a little bit. I believe to make these bar stools there were 112 cuts that I had to make in order to make all of those the little laminate pieces of wood. First thing you want to do with the form here is put down a wax coating. That's just so when the glue dries that you can get your chair leg off of there and it doesn't stick to the form. So as you can see, you're just putting down one board, then you're going to put a layer of glue in between each of them. I'm using a rubber ink roller, which I found to work out really nice to spread the glue out evenly. So as you can see, just layer after layer, just putting them down there. And once you get to the last one, you obviously won't put glue on top of that because it'd be the outside face. Then you can flip it over, just start clamping. I usually start clamping the top end there first just because it's got a smaller section of wood to clamp to. When you get down towards the bottom of the leg where I'm working towards now, you have a lot more leverage, so it's easier to pull that into the form. So you want to use a whole bunch of clamps and let it dry for about 12 hours. Then you can go back through, take your clamps off. You can see what the rough leg is going to look like here in just a second. Now that you've got your leg all glued up, I'm just going to cut some tapers into the bottom of each of the legs just to give it a nice look and give it more character. So instead of it just being a square leg, it looks kind of blocky and boxy. So just giving it some character by doing that. After that's done, we're just going to sand it down and clean up the leg. As you can see, there's some saw marks after I make the cut. There's a little bit of burnout. This is the first step of cleaning the leg up. Want to cut it to the right size. As you can see, there's just a standard cut there. Just measure. Again, this was 36 inches, so you want to measure from where the seat's going to be down to the bottom, and the seat back, you can make that obviously as high as you want. Mine went to about mid-back. So that's where you can see I made the cut. Now you sand it down, get all the saw marks off of there from where the saw may have burned a little bit. This is one of the front legs. It wasn't laminate bent, that's just a straight piece of wood with the tapers cut into it. Then I just took a 1/8 inch round over bit in the router and just rounded out all 4 sides of the piece of wood just to make it nice. Sand off any of the little router marks. From that point, you're ready to start assembling the chairs. First part of the assembly is not really the assembly at all. It's actually just the measuring and layout. You want to put a mark where you want each of your little boards to be and the little steps to get up in the bar stools. From that point you can do the back of the bar stools as well and mark those out. Now I used a Craig joinery system here. I used screws that were a little bit long so they'd go into the wood and bite in there pretty good, and so it would be a solid bar stool. I didn't go through and hand cut out, mortise and tenon joints with this, but the screws will hold up nicely. So as you can see, all the little stringer boards are across there. Now I'm going to attach the other back leg to the bar stool. And after that, flip it over and do the same thing and attach the front legs to the bar stool with their little support pieces as well. Alright, the next step of this is to assemble the seat. You just want to lay it out, get it matched up so that the boards are going to look nice together. If you can book match each of them, that would be ideal, obviously, like I was able to do with this bar stool. And then again, I used the Craig joinery system here to drill on the underneath side of 3 of the boards and join them together with some hardwood self-tapping screws. Did put a layer of glue in between each of them as well, just to give it an extra secure fit. Now as the glue up, you can use a little paintbrush there for the glue, or again you could use an ink roller like I do a lot of the time with my different glue ups. As you can see on the ends of the board, one of those says 5C and 5D. That's just what I wrote on the board so that I can easily identify where I had them laid out so that they're matched up where they need to go. After you get all these boards done, then you're going to go back and trim the seat up. I cut with a handsaw into the seat here a little bit, as you'll see in just a second, so that the seat would lie against and kind of recede back into the backrest. It just gave it a nicer look, and as you can see, it was done with a handsaw. That's just because I was able to be more precise with that versus using a jigsaw, because this is going to be a precise cut. Each bar stool was measured and done just a little bit differently. They're all custom made. I don't have a big shop to be able to have all the jigs and the things to make every single one of these identical. So they're all just a little bit different and they have their own character. Now this time I did use the jigsaw just to trim away a little bit of the edge. As you can see, it's there on both sides. And then took again the 1/4 inch round over bit in the router and just rounded out 4 sides on top just to make it smooth and give it a nice look. After that, it's time to assemble the rest of the bar stool to the seat. Again, I got out my Craig joinery system, which saved me a bunch of time in the process of making these. I was able to go through and instead of hand cutting out all those joints, I was able to save a lot of time with the screws. After you secure this, I don't have video of it, but I sanded it down up to 220. Then I just used an Armaseal semi-gloss finish, 3 coats, sanding in between with 220 and 320 grit sandpaper, and then wiping it off with just some mineral spirits to get all the dust. And there you can see are the finished product. There's 6 White Oak Barstools with a 36-inch high seat. Hope you enjoyed the video. Comment below if you have any questions. Thanks for watching.